Good Monday morning, everyone. You know what time it is. It's time for another Snap Count Monday. Who got on the field for the Seahawks and who didn't? So, you guys know the drill by now. I don't think I need to introduce this segment any more than I already have. Let's start with the running backs. And it's pretty much what you would have expected based off the production yesterday, right? Rashad Penny got most of the snaps, well, he technically got more than half of the snaps because we had 61 total and he got 35. So he was out there for more than half the snaps and he played a great game, so good for him. So that was cool. Alex Collins got 14 snaps, and how far his star has collapsed in Seattle, man. A couple months ago in the preseason, in that game in Pittsburgh, we were all about Alex Collins. We loved him, and something's not there anymore. I don't know exactly what it is, but he doesn't really need to play too much the rest of this season, I don't think. I think we're kind of over that. I think we're over the Alex Collins thing. So 14 snaps, DJ Dallas had 11, and that's it. I think you may as well start giving some of those Collins snaps to DJ Dallas. The only reason why you wouldn't is if you feel like DJ Dallas is a much worse pass protector than Collins. That's a problem, especially with some of the games you're going to be playing coming up here soon. But otherwise, I don't know exactly what happened with the Alex Collins stuff. I know we're not run blocking well, but honestly, in this game we were, and we still really didn't see anything that positive from Collins. All right, that's running backs. Moving on to wide receiver. Kind of interesting here. We had a lot of plays where you took one or both of our starting receivers off the field, more than you would usually see. We had 61 plays. Metcalf was only out there for 45 of them, and Lockett was only out there for 46 of them. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. It's just a little bit interesting. I feel like I would usually expect this team to get those guys on the field for 95+% of their snaps, but that's not the way it's played out, and part of it might be that Metcalf is nursing a foot injury and hasn't been himself, well, I don't want to say himself, but 100% the whole year. I don't know. Maybe it's because Lockett, we know that he's not the most durable guy in the world at this point, and we don't want to put him in harm's way more than we have to. But yeah, they were a little subdued in their snap counts. Dwayne Eskridge, however, set a career high with 28 snaps, and he had more snaps than Freddie Swain, which I think is great news. I know Eskridge didn't do anything in this game, but I know where the talent is. I know Eskridge has more talent. So 27 snaps for Swain, and Hart had 9, and that was it. And finally, we're going to look at tight ends here. Not surprising given the fact that we had a run-heavy game plan, but Dissly played more than Everett. Dissly played 42 snaps, Everett played 38. So pretty even, but Dissly got a couple more. In a game like that, when you're running the ball a lot and you're playing with a big lead, it's understandable. And Everett did make a couple plays out there, and so did Dissly, so they both got involved a little bit, so that was good. And it makes sense that in a game like that where you're really just pounding the ball out of a really bad run defense, that you would want Dissly out there more. And Parkinson got 8, that's it. And let's move on to the defense. Some interesting stuff over here, starting with the defensive ends. Now, we played 81 snaps on defense. Now, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as it sounds because we were playing with the lead for most of the game. They had a lot of snaps in garbage time in the fourth quarter. We actually did see a couple of garbage time players take the field for the Seahawks, which you usually don't see, so that was cool. But, however, 81 snaps is a lot of snaps, and this is one of the reasons why I say this felt like Pete Ball. This game felt like a Pete Carroll game on both sides. Defense, bend, but don't break. Bend, don't break. Well, you bend your way to an 80-plus play game for your defense. I don't like that. But it's what we got. And, hey, some of it was garbage time. I get it. Carlos Dunlap played 28 snaps. He's been chirping a little bit, so he got a little bit of extra play time. I don't feel like he did a whole lot with it. Not that he's alone in that regard, but he did get significantly more play time than the last couple weeks. Alton Robinson, too. He played 48 snaps, which I like. I don't feel like he did a ton with those snaps either. I'm going to have to review things a little bit to be sure about that, but he didn't jump off the page to me, really, or jump off the screen to me. But I do like the fact that we're playing him a lot because he's a guy who has a chance to be part of this team's future. Benson Mayowa, 38 snaps. Whatever, he's just playing out the string. Kerry Hyder, 28 snaps. I don't know exactly why Kerry Hyder's role is getting diminished so much. I know he's not really leaving too much of a positive impact on this team, but it seems like he's starting to even lose snaps to LJ Collier, which I don't know what that means, but it means something. That's not a good sign, because Kerry Hyder could be here next year. He's cheap, and you only save $2 million if you cut him. So I don't know what's going on there exactly, but Kerry Hyder has played less than 50 combined snaps over the last 2 games. I don't get it. Rasheem Green, meanwhile, gets almost 60 snaps, and while he's playing decent football lately, I don't understand the strategy here. To me, Rasheem Green is clearly just a jag, and I don't need to see more of him to know that. Okay, defensive tackles. Poona Ford had 41 snaps. It was actually, we kept the load light on these guys. I think that you saw a little bit of Rasheem Green sliding to the inside. That's one reason why he does get a lot of snaps, is that he does have a little bit of versatility to slide inside. But pretty low usage here. Poona Ford had 41 snaps, so like half. Al Woods had 30, and he had a really good game on those 30 snaps. LJ Collier had 32, which is a season high for him, and I think I saw him show up once or twice, so I guess LJ did something. And Monet only got 10 snaps before he got hurt, which that's unfortunate because it sounds like he's going to be out for at least a little while, maybe the rest of the season. So that is tragic because I know Monet, he just kind of flashes every now and then, but I kind of like him. I think he's all right. I don't mind Monet. He can do some stuff. And Kimdichie was inactive, which brings us to the linebackers. Interesting news here. Some stuff that is worth talking about. Not worth talking about is Bobby Wagner playing every snap, because he always does. By the way, he's almost at 1,000 snaps on the season. Like, we still got 4 games left, guys. I'm not at this point. It doesn't really matter, but I don't know why you want to do everything you can to make sure he's got no legs under him for the end of the year. I don't get that strategy. I really don't. But he played every snap. Also playing every snap was Jordan Brooks, 100%, 81. I think a big reason why is that our defensive back depth is really getting pushed right now. Jamal's out. Blair's out. Trey Brown is out. So I think there's a lot of pressure on the on Jordan Brooks to play as much as he can, which in this case was every snap, because we can't go to those dime packages the way we could have under well, not under, but when we had more defensive backs. So in this game, that was fine, but I promise you, if Jordan Brooks is out there for every snap against the Rams, they're going to find him in coverage, and they are going to destroy him. So hopefully we have some sort of contingency plan that doesn't involve Jordan Brooks covering Cooper Kupp 40 yards down the field. Darrell Taylor finally played 40 snaps in a game, so I think that's a reason to celebrate. I'm pretty happy about that. He played a pretty good game too, 40 snaps. I'd like to see him play 40 snaps every game we play, especially if we're going to be playing 80-plus snaps on defense. So Darrell Taylor, to me, he's the cornerstone going forward. He's one of the few guys on this team who you can definitively say is going to be here going forward, who is really good. And Cody Barton got on the field for 1 defensive snap. So it's been a while, Cody. Welcome back to the party. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with cornerbacks. And interesting stuff here. We saw no cornerback play more than 70. Well, no cornerback play more than 70 snaps technically, because Ryan Neal, who played every snap at safety, was playing safety. But DJ Reed played 68 snaps and Sidney Jones played 65. So they both played a lot, but there was definitely some moving in and out. I think some of it was in garbage time. I'm not 100% sure when they came out. I know DJ Reed got hurt, but I don't think Sidney Jones did. So there was a little bit of moving pieces around in garbage time, I think, which is good. It's good. I like that. There's no need to play these guys more than you need to sometimes. So I don't know what's going on with DJ Reed health-wise, but that's a big deal. He still played most of the game. Sidney Jones played most of the game. Bless You on Austin got some burn, 28 snaps. Ugo Amadi, who played a pretty good game, by the way, 51 snaps. And John Reed played 5 snaps. Now, Ryan Neal did play every snap in this game on defense. However, again, he was playing safety. So he arguably shouldn't even be on this list anymore because going forward, he is going to be the permanent solution at safety, barring some kind of injury. And while we're here, it's not listed, but Gavin Heslop played, I think, 4 snaps and then broke his leg. So that's tragic because I kind of like Gavin Heslop. You know, he showed me a little bit of something over the last couple years, but he's not going to show anything the rest of this year, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he broke his leg and you're not going to be seeing him. And that's it for your snap count Monday. Some interesting stuff to take away here. I like what we're doing with Alton and Taylor. I even kind of like getting Collier out there a little bit more just because you may as well. I always say that Collier's not going to be here next year, but there's no guarantee of that. He is under contract. And we'll see what happens going forward. I might have to add some offensive linemen to this chart because we have some interesting battles going on now. I'm going to talk more about Jake Curhan at a later date, but he's making things a little interesting up there. All right, I'll see you guys later today in stream. Go Hawks.